Hi, Erin with Karma Cat Gardens here. Hope you're doing well. I want to take some time and chat with you a little bit about my grow and the state of the legal rec market in Oregon and how it has impacted the medical industry and kind of my place in all of that as I see it. So let me just kind of back up and tell you a little bit about how I kind of made my way into this labyrinth of bureaucracy at this point. Sorry, I'm just leaning forward to see what's happening. Sorry you got to see my forehead so close. I apologize. I just wanted to see what my kitten was playing with. So I kind of decided to become a grower about a year before the rec market went legal. So I joined the medical grow, which I probably would have done anyway, as I have a passion for that portion of the industry. My son had been encouraging me to do so for many years, and this is something he was actually I'd call him a heavy user at that time. And my son and myself and my mother all share the same medical issues. And so I thought it'd be beneficial. And so I took my mom along for the ride. She actually became a medical grower as well. And so we actually took this on as a family endeavor. Now, we each have our own independent grows though, so both of our farms are separate. However, most things that we do, that when we do things like when we go out and network and stuff, we tend to do those as a collective, so we kind of co-op in that way. And so anyway, I'm sort of getting ahead of myself, but I'm kind of trying to lay the groundwork. So we both did this at the same time, side by side. We opened our businesses together. We shop for our products together. We do a lot of things, but then sometimes she has her own clients and I have my own clients, and that's kind of how we do this. So, and then also we make our products separately and we grow separately, I guess, if that makes sense. So, we both got our medical grow cards and we both started growing. Now back then, it was legal for you to get, the way that the medical worked, you would have a medical client. You could have up to 4 medical clients at a time, and each medical client you could grow 4 plants for that medical client. And then you decided with your client how you would, what amount they would get and how you would give them that amount, and then any excess you would have from your grow, then you could disperse to the dispensary. And that is how you could afford to give them their product, because they did not pay you unless they chose to buy beyond the amount that you were going to give them, and then you could give them a discount beyond that. So that's kind of how the medical program worked. So that worked out great, as for us. So that basically you could have up to 4 people, 4 growers at a grow site. So like in my home, I could be a grower and my son could be a grower. So we could each have 4 people. So we could grow for 8 people, and that's 8 people and 4 plants a piece. So that works. And then I have a cat trying to climb in my shirt. So if you had 4 people at a grow site, and you could have up to 100 plants. Basically, it's 96, but we go, whatever. Now, just recently, they've changed it to, if you're a medical grower in the city, you can only have 2 medical clients, period. And you can only grow 12 plants total. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can't. That's all. And that doesn't jive. So let me tell you, so my first year as a grower, I just fit as many plants as I could in my backyard. I'm going to just go ahead and say I don't really pay attention to them. Where it comes to plant limits, I'm just going to be really upfront about it. I don't really pay attention to the numbers. I'm an organic soil grower. If you're not a grower, that doesn't mean a lot to you, but let me explain what that means to me. It means, oh, my kitty's being so sweet in my lap. I wish you could hear. I'm actually going to let you see this. She's being so sweet. Oh, hi, kitty. Sorry about the squeak. That's Monchichi Monkey, my 10-week-old kitten. Now I screwed up. I have it really rigged funny, so every time I move it, it's funny. Anyway, so, ouch. So, what that means is that I don't use anything that's not organic, and so the bugs, I treat them with, essential oils, and I do things that aren't going to hurt my clients. I really struggle with bugs. My plants don't get really big. My buds don't get really big because typically if you do that, they're putting something weird in it. I mean, I put molasses in mine. I put only things that are organic in there. And then of course I rinse them well and stuff like that. So they're not going to get, I get some big buds, but they're not like crazy big. It depends on the plant and whatever. But I always, there's always loss. There's always loss. So you expect if you have 30 plants, there's not going to be 30 at the end. There's just not. Sometimes, of course, I grow from seed, and sometimes there's males. And sometimes they go hermy, even if they're not males. They might be by the end of it. Something pissed them off and stressed them. If there was bugs and it freaked them out, they might turn half. This is a thing that plants sometimes do. So you've lost those. Or now my new thing, which I've just since last summer happened, idiots climbing over my fence and ripping my plants out. Yeah, rippers. They literally, I don't have I have no outdoor plants this year because they've stolen 30 plants from me. 30 plants, that's all I had. That's everything from outside. I have no outside plants. So that's an entire, harvest they've stolen from me. Because the way that, so I'm kind of off track here, but I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. Sorry, my hair's weird. The way that a cannabis harvest works, or a cycle, it's like a 4 to 5 month cycle, depending upon, I typically do like a hybrid, or many of mine are sativa, so they're a little bit longer cycles. So it's 4 to 6 months for me typically. So I get 2 harvests a year indoors. Sometimes I can squeeze in a third, but typically it's 2. So to get that third, I need the outdoor. One. So so what I can do with the outdoor one is when I get the third one, the way I get the third one is I do outdoor, and I do extra plants out there, and I veg some of them, and I do full-time out. So some of those are going to stay out there, and they're going to go for the length of the time, and some of them are just out there to veg, and then I'm going to pull those and run them inside and let them finish inside with a 12-12 cycle. Some people know what I'm talking about, but others probably don't. That's okay. It doesn't really matter. But what I need you to know is that it takes a really long time. So when you lose a harvest, you've lost almost half a year of work, because it's like your heart and soul goes into those plants. And I'll be honest, I absolutely adore. I love my plants and I love growing, and so it's something I love to do. So it's just hard. And so what I was trying to get at, what was I trying to get at? Oh, the plant limits. So yeah, so there's that, and being licensed. So when I started, my thought was that, okay, great, we'll start as medical, and I want to stay medical. I wanted to do a split license. I wanted to do medical, and then I wanted to split and do half medical, half rec, and I thought we could do that. But as it turned out, what I was finding out, every day was a new day. So we were kind of staying on top of everything. We were tuned in. We were on all the cannabis, talk, news groups, and I was I was listening to all the meetings that were happening over on not the Department of Justice, but I can't remember who was having the city council meetings. So I was getting direct daily kind of updates from them via email, and I could not stay on top of everything because it changed so quickly. It was like every day that something new was happening, and they had like bi-weekly meetings or something like that. It was so often. So what I found was that because I didn't start growing early enough, that I could not be grandfathered to have both licenses. I was not able to have a split. I would have to decide one or the other. So between Mom and I was like, okay, one of us will stay medical and one of us will go rec. So we were thinking that would be the way to do it. But then when the licenses finally went out, everyone was freaking out over them, and they were only issuing some, and we found out the pricing, and it was $5,000. $5,000 for a license. We never made $5,000. It's like our little tiny farms, our little niche farms, because we cultivate. What I didn't tell you is we would like agonize over what strains to grow, and we would like be super. I mean, we poured over the strains, and we researched them, and and we just agonized over these things. And so we were like the boutique. We wanted boutique strains. We wanted these special strains, and so we didn't go for the most popular. We didn't want that. We wanted to be like niche. And so we didn't have, whatever. So we couldn't do that. We're not high producers. We're just a little tiny grow. We just aren't competitive in that way. We're not producing pounds and pounds. I mean, we're lucky if we get a pound or 2 pounds. We're like, oh my God, that's a great year for us. Oh, yay. We don't have that. We're just not competitive. We don't have the money. So, and we're producers. We make our own tinctures. We make our own topicals. I make a wicked body butter. It's amazing. It has manuka honey in it. Yay! And a little bit of essential oil. And I make a wonderful, wonderful tinctures and edibles. I make gummies that are yummy, yummy, and hard candies and all that. But in order for me to do what I do, I would have to have a processor's license and a producer's license, and that was $10,000. And on top of that, I would have to get access to a licensed kitchen. And I thought, oh, I'll just rent once a week or once a month up at the church, And I think that when I looked into that, they said it had to be a different kind of kitchen. Because I was like, well, that's a commercial kitchen, but I don't think they liked that. There was something about it had to be different. And so, but nothing I do explodes, so I don't understand why whatever. So, anyway, moving forward, they've changed the licensing a bit. There's now a tier thing, but the problem being, I still have to go for a more expensive license because I want to sell to a dispensary. That's the whole point. I'm a single old lady on disability. I make almost the same amount that my mortgage is. I need to have an income, and I don't have one. I can't work. I literally can't work. I was looking at the Craigslist ads today, and I found a little job that I really wanted, and it really bummed me out because I was like trying to bargain with myself, like maybe I'm not as sick. Maybe I'll be better, and I know better. I know I won't be able to do the job, and I wanted the job. It was a little coffee cart that's gonna just down on the corner, and it has like cold brewed coffee, and I was like, oh, it's already made. You don't have to make little coffee drinks. You just pour the coffee and give them cream or sugar, and you just, but it's out in the weather, and you have to be there, physically be there, and I know it would wear me out, but I thought it would be fun, and I like coffee. So I was like, oh, and the people that run it sound really cool. And I was like, I wanted the job. So, but I can't have it. So there's that. That sucks. I would have liked it. I would have liked to have tried giving money, but I don't want to waste their time and, be disappointed. So anyway, moving on. So here I am, not able to afford a license because I have not even, So I don't know. I've redone this because there was a moment. The last time I did this just a few minutes ago, I'll go ahead and share how much fun it is for me to try to do a video. I was trying to make the video, and my cat took a wicked dump a few feet away from me and peed right next to it. And the other one took off out the front door, the little one that was in my lap. So while I'm trying to clean up that, I have one I'm looking after, and then I'm trying to mop. So I took the last 20 minutes trying to do that. And since I'd already had to stop at midway, I decided to just redo the whole thing. So anyway, so this is me redoing it. So I kind of forgot where I was, and so that's why I sound a little more scattered than normal. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, the licensing, it'd be great, and but I don't, like I said, I don't have the money already. I've already invested $5,000 into this business to just get started, and that was just to start. I've already, that was the first year, and then since then, of course, I've replaced things, and so I mean, I keep my receipts, so I know if I looked at them, it would just upset me, because I haven't made that. I give more stuff away than I take in. And I recently have been, in the last 8 months, and this is why I think I'm thinking about this more. In the last 8 months, I have been, stop. All the rippers have come. I've had the people rip my plants out of my yard. And that is just absolutely asinine. But then I have been physically robbed. I'm trying to talk quiet. I don't want my son to hear. I was robbed at gunpoint about a week ago. Then about 5 months ago, I had a guy grab stuff out of my hand and just run out of my car. And then another one give me counterfeit money. So in total, I've lost 5, 6, 7, 8, over almost $1,000 worth of product. Just theft, physically, like right there with me, like they just take it from me. So, it's dangerous. It's not been fun. It's not good. So I would much rather be dealing directly with a dispensary than having to do person to person. This sucks. It's terrible. So that part I don't like. I know other growers have talked to me about they're having the same situation. It seems like it's gotten so much worse. I think once the rec market moved in, I have seen a serious uptick in crime. Now here's the other thing I wanted to talk about, and I don't know, oh, that's right, the news stories I'm seeing. So I am seeing all this stuff about that Oregon has this overabundance of pot, and it's going out to other states, and so yeah, I'll tell you where it's coming from, because it isn't from us here on the ground. It's coming from probably the large legal farms. So because those of us that are the little growers, even those of us that are the small legal growers, aren't producing that. So it ain't us, and no, it's not, because everybody keeps asking, because it's not here in the market. I can tell you there's not an overabundance in the market. So yeah, I get people asking me for cannabis every single day. I just had 4 people text me today. Do you have any? I don't know. Nope, I'm all out. It's just stolen. I don't have any. So I'm out. Yeah, so that's interesting. And I mean, the crime has just gone through the roof here, and I want to get the hell out of this. I'm in Portland, and I hate it. I want the hell out of here. So yeah, it's not very fun. But I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what to. I love growing. I'll tell you, the bummer is that I'm not doing it outside, because that was actually my joy. Sorry, I'm really congested tonight. It's just getting really bad. And the reason it was, and I'll tell you the best part about growing outside is, and you might not know this about cannabis if you're not a grower, and I really think you should know this about them, that each plant is absolutely different in how it grows in its bloom cycle. And especially when they're outside when it gets colder out, and I can't do this in my house because my air conditioner, it takes too much power, and I'm going to blow all my circuits if I turn the air conditioner on. Otherwise I'd be having the air conditioner on for the indoor girls, but I'll blow a fuse and I'll catch us on fire, so I can't. But when they get cold, like September, October, and this is when they start to get ready for harvest, they start to change colors. It's so exciting because that's when they're true colors and they're exciting and they start to smell amazing. So I have some that start to go like a deep purple and pink and these crazy different greens and purples and blues and some go black, and they're just gorgeous. It's and then they frost over, so you've got this like wintry frost on them, and then all these amazing colors. So you don't know what each one's going to look like, and they just give you this like rainbow of colors in the back, and then these fragrant smells, and they smell nothing like the pot in the stores, because a fresh flower is a million times better. I wish I could bottle it. It's like this, I can't even, I've often thought people who've never experienced it, I'd love to give them that experience. It's like if I could cut that for them and just let them have it, because it's something I would never in a million years have thought it was like this until I started growing. And it was like, oh my gosh, every day I would run out and look at them and like touch them and like, yeah, it was so cool. So that they're like a rainbow. They're like a beautiful rainbow. And honestly, I don't even smoke. So I don't smoke pot. The only thing I do is like the lotion, really, and sometimes the tincture, but I don't do it. So, but I love to grow it. So anyway, I guess on that note, I'm gonna probably end it here. I might do a part 2 if I notice I've forgotten something vital. This is a really complex issue. It's not an easy one. I don't have an easy answer, and I'm running out because I'm running out and I've gone really long, and I'm super sorry. So yeah, if you have something to add, please comment, please subscribe, please hit the like and the bell. I really need people. Thank you so much for your time. Talk to you later. Bye.